And he said, a lot of us listening to this have the potential to lead a Fortune 500 company. But if you go now and apply to those companies, maybe you're not qualified yet, though you have the potential. And so even companies have standards that we're not just choosing people based on potential, but based on qualification. And so never apologize for having standards and qualifications, before you choose who you want to spend the rest of your life with. Yeah, you have the potential to be a very, loving husband who can raise his children, send them to schools and all of that. But do you have the requisite training and preparation for it? That's the real question. All right, that's the real question. Because when it all comes down to it, it takes more than potential. You have to see more than potential. Whoever you want to spend the rest of your life with must show you more than potential, must show you something practical. If it's a talent, must show you that talent is actually has commercial value. Not that you sing in the bathroom and it's so sonorous. It has to be more than that. People have to be willing to pay to hear you sing, and must have paid once or twice or 5 times. Okay, this is important. And if you are not yet at that point, whilst you are not seeing a career in music, for instance, maybe you should get a job on the side. Can I tell you something? You should be ready to take practical steps. All right, so that you can have something on ground. So, on one hand, he or she has potential, and you believe in he or she, but it takes more than that. You have to see heart. You have to see tenacity. You have to see hard work. You have to see someone who is ready to get his tires to meet the road. All right, who is taking active steps towards his dreams or her dreams. You have to have a compelling dream in life. I'm saying all of this because I definitely didn't really look the way I look now, not in terms of physical appearance. And maybe that might also be true, But when I was asking my wife out, I didn't have a car at the time. Eventually, my mom gave me her Sienna. And anyway, I don't want to talk about that Sienna. Very great car. Saved me a great deal in ministry. I've said it jokingly. When I'm receiving my final reward from Jesus in ministry, the Sienna will stand beside me because it was with me through thick and thin. It has suffered for Jesus. Believe you me, But having said that, so how did she know that she could spend the rest of her life with me? First and foremost, like I already said, it was beyond potential. And I believe that God blessed me with a woman who is very content. I was never under pressure, and this is no slight to people who are high maintenance. But I just want to say that it was a great blessing to me as someone whose vision needed some time to manifest, to have a woman, who was ready to go through the process. It was such a great blessing, so it was beyond potential, and we had very, very funny experiences. My wife was very bright in school, so she had the second best result in our class, and all those students that the lecturers are expecting a lot from in life. So as we're about to graduate, the lecturer saw both of us walking around, because she came to our department to do something and I was with her. She was in 500 level, I was in 400 level, but her course just required 4 years, mine 5. And so he looked at me with disdain. And he just called her name and said, "I want to see you." And he told me to stand outside. And began to tell her, who are you? What are you doing with that boy? Is this what you want to do with your life? What does it do? Say, he has a call to ministry. Okay, so with all your gifts, you want to sacrifice everything and be following this and all of that. And a lot of people, well-meaning people, actually tried to discourage her, you know. And so first and foremost for her, it was beyond potential. If I wasn't doing as great, I have no doubt that my wife will still be content and will still be supportive. But at the same time, she wasn't marrying my dreams. She was marrying my decisions. You know, I think I learned that from, that should have been Pastor Kingsley, you know. So there were decisions. Listen, even if you've not had the opportunity to execute your big dreams, there should be smaller things you've done in the past that show consistency, that show seriousness, and things that people can bank on concerning your future. You have a consistent character. You are a finisher, you know, and you can keep your word. You can stay committed to a dream and see it manifest. You know, those are the ways you can help people actually walk towards, actually believe in you and walk with you. So that's also important. Another thing I want to say is this. Yeah, on one hand, if Mr. Potential is giving you signs that based on his past decisions that things are going to manifest in the future, you must however bear in mind that the timing also must make sense. It's not enough to know that your potential will manifest. I want to know how long it will take. And because whether you like it or not, okay, let me put it this way. Let me give you a scenario. And this scenario has played out 1,000 times. So you are in school with someone. You're reading together, going to lectures together, and then you fall in love in the same class. And you start dating. And then you graduate together. Now it's all nice and sweet and emotional. You want to spend the rest of your life together. You've imagined what your children will look like and all of that. But now there is the reality of life. Maybe not necessarily the reality of life, but the reality of social culture and social construct. When a man and a woman graduate the same time, socially, I'm not saying this is a logical fact, but statistically, women are more ready to marry than men. In fact, most women, they embrace the idea of getting married 1 year, 2 years after graduation. For many people, that's their expectation, in fact. But the guy who just finished from school, all he's thinking about is overwhelmed with the fact that, hey, you know, my life is just starting, and chances are that marriage is the last thing on his mind. You know, and so even though they've bonded emotionally, now you are faced with the practical reality. Like, how do I get ready? You know, because a lady is ready to move on, but the guy is just starting. You know, and that's why practically it looks like ladies usually end up with guys who are maybe 4 years older, 3 years older, thereabout. The guy must have gone ahead, had some things established and all of that. Because even emotionally, ladies are more mature than men. At least they have a better picture of their future sometimes. I don't really want to talk about that now. You know, so there is that. So the timing, does it add up? This is a question you have to ask yourself. How much time do I have? It doesn't mean I don't believe in you, but can it work for both of us? So if you have 10 years before you step into the manifestation of your dreams, but as a lady, I'm already 30. Is that going to work? You know, so whilst you're waiting for this big grand manifestation, are you ready to do something now that can at least put a roof over our head, food on the table, and then we can talk and move on? So the timing must also make sense. That's very important. And another important, maybe call it a balance to this, is, so what I'm doing is I'm just giving you different perspectives. So if you fall in